Hey, welcome everybody to Testaments and Testimonials. Man, I got first time going live with you guys. Wait to see who comes in before we get on this topic. Not going to be a long one tonight, but it's definitely something I wanted to cover. Definitely something I wanted to speak about and see what you guys' take is on it. Just let me know in the comments if I'm up and running, and we'll see how it goes. And if there's any feedback or whatever, let me know that as well. Got one that's watching. Hopefully a few more will come in when we get started on this. Give it a few more seconds, guys, and we'll get started on this topic tonight. Will say it's a topic that I didn't want to do, but I felt like it should be done after long deliberation, praying, some intake of other content. So wanted to get out there and get it going. Also, if this is your first time to TNT, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell. Hopefully, we'll be doing more content as it becomes available. Appreciate you guys' love and support. And we'll see about it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, I got Seiko woods up on the screen here. Been a friend of Seiko for a couple years now, a few years now. Definitely have supported his channel in the past, his content, his views on a lot of things. But that has recently changed. After, like I said, after a lot of deliberation and praying and viewing a lot of content, I took in consideration all that has been put out and said about Seiko. And at first, I defended him and stood by him through it all. But then it kind of got to the point where I had to ask myself, is everybody else wrong or is Seiko wrong? So in doing that, I kind of got to the point where I started to see what everybody was saying. And, I'm to the point where I agree. I agree with what's being put out there and what's being said. And from my view from it, I would say I have a personal relationship with Seiko. We talk on the phone occasionally. I'm usually always there when he had live streams going on. But as you guys know, his live streams have slowed down quite a bit, almost to zero, for some reason or another. I couldn't tell you, but they have. and there's probably a reason for that. So what I'm going to say is that I recognize what you guys are saying, and you know what, I agree. I see that he has hurtful speech. He's divisive, prideful, and just I don't know, for lack of a better term, mean spirited. And those are just things that you can't really. You can't really. Hey, Seiko, I see you in the comments. I'm sorry, brother, that I got to do this, but I have to. But as I was saying, it's just as a pastor, former pastor, ex-pastor, however you want to say it. You expect better. You do. You really do expect better, and you expect people to talk and walk as our example. Jesus Christ did. And not to weaponize the Bible. I mean, that's really what it has come down to. And it just puts you in a spirit of not really appreciating what God has for you, because it's just a mess. And I think it's been referred to as pretty much Jerry Springer-ish. And that's sad, because there's so much that the word can offer, so much that's there that should be used. But it gets to the point where that's not the case. And it's just it's disheartening, because I think he's a good person at heart. It's just one of those things where he's in his own way, and I wish he could understand or hear what others been saying. But I don't know how to approach it. I know a few of us have pulled him aside and tried to talk to him about it, and it's kind of got put off as he's in his own world, and nobody else can tell him anything. And again, that's not what you expect from a pastor. And Seiko, and I know you're in the chat, so I'm hoping you're hearing this, brother. Again, I didn't want to do it this way, but I felt like it is at that time to figure that out and put it out there as well. I can tell you that we've had conversations. I don't know if Seiko's recording my conversations with him or not. I'm not too concerned. Like I tell him, if I said it, I said it. But I know I don't record his, so I couldn't give you guys audio on that. But some of the conversations we've had, I've kind of cringed and hung up. But it is, like I said, it is what it is. And to give you guys a prime example, I think where a lot of people started having the issues is with the Marcus Rogers live, where he had the two women on. They really couldn't give any evidence, I don't think. They couldn't really give any evidence, but Marcus got on there, and as bad as Marcus is, you can see Seiko going into Seiko mode, and he starts talking over Marcus to the point where Marcus gets frustrated and almost really gives up. And then he's off and about doing this thing again. I'll kind of pull that up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find that.
Marcus, you can finish
just
the story.
Why can't you mute her mic and let me talk, and then she can say whatever she wants. I've been listening to them for an hour, bro.
Hey, Marcus, I'm the one talking right now. She hasn't said a word.
I was the one talking, and y'all acting like I'm talking now. Like a female.
I'm talking now.
And y'all asked me to come on and let me talk.
And we're letting you come on, but I'm asking you to answer the question. She's showing you who's Tabitha. So, Carissa, read the statement. I don't need you to show the screen. Read the statement, and then you can respond, Marcus. Read the statement, please, Carissa.
I want him to go ahead and talk. He's acting like we're not letting him speak. The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
All right. So the first encounter I had with her, bro, she came to a church, one of the first places I preached when I was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
And, you know, like I said, as you can see there, Seiko and Marcus kind of get into a tiff, and they you know, get going. And I think Marcus kind of had a point, you know, that these women are kind of off or whatever. But it kind of goes to show you that I don't think Seiko really wanted to hear what Marcus had to say. He was just going along with it, and I think what you tend to hear from Seiko is something to this effect.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God. We're putting the band back together.
Again, no way.
We're on a mission from God. Matt, me and Elwood, putting the band back together.
Ma'am, you got to understand that this is a lot bigger than any domestic problems you might be experiencing.
So, like I was saying, it's sometimes, you know, he shares the word a lot. He shares the word a lot, and that's good and all, but it's always overshadowed with the drama. So I mean, it's either from G. Craig Lewis, John MacArthur, Marcus Rogers, Corey Minor, all the people that he's listed in the mob, and you know, I reached out to those people at one point in time, and you know, and like I said, I revisited a lot of material to come up with the decision I made tonight to kind of get on here and voice my opinion. You know, like I said, we talk about it a lot. We've had conversations about these people, and a lot of it, you know, I'm sorry that we had those kind of conversations, because I just don't feel those are the kind of conversations we should have about people. So if they're listening, great. You know, like I said, I hear you guys or see you guys' content. I don't really comment too much anymore, just because I just been taking it all in and kind of adding it all up. And that's where I'm at with it, is that, you know, and I hope Seiko somehow repents and gets on the right track and really does what God has called him to do. He actually gets on that mission. So, like I said, I'm not going to be too long tonight, guys. I just kind of wanted to put it out there in the atmosphere. of my take on it. Like I said, I've backed Seiko on numerous lives that he's been on. His viewpoint about people and whatnot. I actually was a mod on his channel there for a while. I couldn't tell you guys anything about his marriage or what's going on with him now. I really can't. And that's probably for the better at this point in time. It's probably for the better. So if you guys have any comments, I'm kind of looking over here or not. I'll be happy to address any comments. I was going to invite Seiko on, but I just didn't feel like having a confrontation about it tonight. Like I said, I just put it out there. Hopefully he sees it and receives it. And we can go from there. But there's a lot of videos that have been put out. There's a lot of videos that have been put out that, will go deeper in depth. I just didn't have the time to dig in the crates and analyze each of his videos to that extent. And I don't think God really wants me to do that kind of thing anyways. He just wants me to voice where he's got me at and what he wants me to do. So definitely see what you guys are putting out there and receive it. And hopefully, like I said, God will get in there and change Seiko's heart and see about what's going on with him and actually put him on the road. Because I don't think a lot of these people deserve to get attacked. I mean, Corey Miner's a good guy overall, I think, and he's always, trying to do Bible studies and different topics. John MacArthur, I mean, I really can't tell you much about him. I know that one situation was bad, but I mean, he's been doing ministry for 40 years. So kind of like, Michael Jordan. I mean, you take enough shots, you're going to miss one, right? So G. Craig Lewis, I really never really looked into him. I can't really speak on too much about him. Marcus Rogers, I think anybody and everybody can agree that he is off base. And talking about that, if you guys seen his latest videos, they're really wild. Definitely clickbaitish. To the extent, I think the last one I seen, I happened to look at it today, something about a pastor getting attacked in the church, and it was him with his congregation acting out how you get attacked in the spirit, and he was trying to take his coat off, something crazy. I don't know, but that's Marcus Rogers. But I mean, really, we should stick to doctrine. Really look at the doctrine that people are putting out there rather than their personal lives, and really do that. And hopefully, the comments that we get are uplifting and God-centered, anyways, because that's what we're all about, making much of Christ. There's a few people that he also attacked. I didn't fully agree with. I think Bottom Line Dad was one. I tried to reach out to him. I never got a response back to me. Montana Viking, I think, is another one. And of course, I've had my spotlights. I know a few people made videos using my face and whatever. And that's cool. I probably deserved it at the time. Because we kind of go hard in the chat room, in the chat paint, I guess you could say. So it is what it is at this point, right? So between that and like I said, I've never really asked Seiko about his marriages. I mean, I know that's a topic a lot of people brought up, and his church or whatever. I kind of left it at that. To me, it was like, okay, I mean, that's his past, and God will deal with him on that. I don't really need to know too much about that, because I mean, for the most part, we're all online, right? So there's that. But like I said, the last one was like for Corey Minor, dealing with him, and then dealing with what's the gentleman's name? Carlton Peterson, and a few others. And it almost seems like somebody's always got to be in the mix, right? Rather than just the word. There's got to be a focal point, I guess, to all the topics, which is unfortunate because the word just stand on its own, right? I mean, if we're making much of Christ, then really we don't have to have topics. I don't believe such, or people as the topic. We can just talk about the word, and really that just applies to us, in the short of it. But a lot of content creators, that's what they do. Case in point, I'm doing that tonight, right? So there's that, I guess. So I'm in the wrong right now. I don't know, but like I said, I wanted to get out here. There's a lot of people that probably seen my comments on other channels. I fully have to apologize for that part, because you just get really passionate about things, and you want to get your opinion out there as well. Throw your opinion in the hat. But looking back on it all, it's kind of wasted time, I guess you could say. So with that, see about 4 people or 5 people watching. That's a record now. Because I don't really go live, and honestly, when I created my channel, put the name of my channel was just supposed to be exactly about what the title is: Testaments and Testimonials. So we was going to just go through the Bible, go through the Testaments, and then occasionally have people on and share their testimonials. It is what God put on my heart to do. But like I said, after praying and deliberating, I felt like I had to come out and clear the air in a public space, since all the comments and lives have all been public. Kind of come out here and do the same. I know Seiko will probably want me to cam up and discuss it further. I really don't care to do so, just because it's just one of those things. I'd rather just say my piece and let it be, and lie it down at that point. So again, hopefully he hears it. Hopefully maybe he go back and review Echoes and Sound Bites, and I know that there's the other channel. I know there's a couple other channels that kind of did an expose on Seiko that's out there. You guys could go through and watch those. And like I said, they go further in depth than what I did. I just kind of wanted to speak my heart there for a while, and hopefully you guys hear it and receive it. And feel free to reach out to me if you want to. And we can have a discussion about that. Oh yeah, there's another person, Miss Furlow. Me and her kind of had interactions online. Kind of had some back and forth that got kind of heated, for the most part. And probably it's stemming from Seiko, because I don't know her from anybody walking down the street. I made a comment, she responded, kind of got more personal than what it probably should have been. I know she's put out some some stuff. I know she's asked Seiko, hey, what about Larry Reed? I think that's the guy's name. Again, I don't really follow too many of these people, so I couldn't tell you who that is or what the story is behind him. I know Seiko kind of balked at it. I don't know if that's because, you know, what God had him doing, or Seiko just didn't want to address it. I don't know. But, you know, she has some videos out there on Seiko as well. And she kind of goes in on it. I know some of her viewers too kind of have their own opinion. I know there's been several people that said, you know, Seiko's destroyed lives. I don't know particularly which ones they're talking about, but I can kind of see it. I mean, with like the banner says right now, you know, hurtful, prideful, contentious, divisive, poor example. It's almost like a parent that's always downing you, or always kind of beating up on your emotional side, and never really bringing it back around to the love part of it, I guess. So maybe in his exchanges with some people, that's how they felt. You know, I don't know. I can't speak too much on that. I just know with the conversations I've had with Seiko and the exchanges, I can't really say I'm mentoring, because one, he's older than I am, and two, he's got more experience in the word than I do, to be perfectly honest. But it's one of those kind of outside looking in, like, hey, bro, can you kind of change this or do this? And it's always met with a no. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things like, look, if you're not going to listen to me, then keep touching the hot pot, I guess. I can't do anything for you. But, you know, yeah, I did want to give Miss Furlow a shout out as well. She's watching, or she happens to come across this. You know, looking back on your videos as well, you got some content that should be viewed and absorbed, so to speak. So I think I've been on here almost 30 minutes. I know I've kind of rambled. Again, this wasn't organized too much. This was just one of those things of, hey, let me go ahead and do this. Let me let everybody know I've seen the light, and kind of put out my viewpoints on everything, and kind of talk about it that way. Maybe in the future, I'll kind of put more time into it. I've kind of been busy with other things right now. So, and I think I think the one channel I kind of didn't want to say, just because I do have some issues with that channel, for the fact that, you know, some pictures were used in some spoof videos that I highly didn't appreciate, and I think we made that known. As that guy over there, I think is what the channel's called, or something to that effect. I know he puts out videos about Seiko daily, so if you want to check that out, check that out. But, you know, if by all means, if you want to send me a message, we can kind of connect and speak. Maybe even do a live one day. I don't know. Just depending on what you're comfortable with. And feel free. I mean, all of them. April Chapman, Dear Old Christian, K-Dub. You know, I've had some conversations with K-Dub offline, on and offline, something to that effect. Maybe we can reconnect as well. K-Dub, Montana Viking, Ricky Gantz, Never really spoke with Ricky Caldwell. Kind of tried to watch some of his stuff. I just can't. It just doesn't vibe with me too much. I'm not saying that he's wrong. It just doesn't resonate in my spirit. There's other people that I find more connectivity with. Recall Ricky Gans, Bible Thumping Wingnut, Tim Hurd, I think that's what his name is. I never really had an interaction with him, but the Love Agenda, I think Berean Babes is another one I've kind of exchanged stuff with. Yeah. You know what? Just thinking about it too. It just came to my mind. What do you say there? At the mob, word Dan first solo light. Hey, bro. I mean, again, sometimes you gotta listen to the B side of the tape, right? You gotta flip the tape over and listen to other songs. So that's where I'm kind of at with that. What was I saying? I lost all train of thought. Oh yeah. So kind of thinking about it too. I always found it I would say uncomfortable or kind of confusing. More so confusing, not so much uncomfortable, confusing. When Seiko would use he would use people that we normally wouldn't agree with as examples. So people like Ruslan, KD, Alex Pagani. And at the time, I kind of accepted what he was trying to do. But at the same time, I'm just like, I can't listen to those kind of people because just off the top, I know they're wrong. So they might spew out something that's right here and there. I mean, anybody can say praise God and be right? But it's what follows along after that. It's kind of like, man, you didn't really mean that. Or how they say in the South, God bless his heart. And that's not really what they mean. So yeah, that's what about the seaside? Hey, brother X, how you doing? Definitely want to connect with you sometime. Seaside, I mean, I'm not that old, so I know I can definitely see you having 8-track. I bet I had one 8-track and it was Mickey Mouse. So I can bet your 8-track library was more extensive than me. Definitely after seeing you in the dungeon when you used to play the VHS tapes and whatnot. So, I mean, I guess you could say what the seaside is like with any story is, there's their side, there's my side, and there's the truth, right? So, you know what kids don't know about nowadays is the 45s, and you had to put the little plastic piece in the middle. Then you can hold that plastic piece up and they wouldn't figure it out. So the plastic piece, you put in the middle of 45 to get it to play on your record, is the awesome part. So yeah, I tell you what, I'd love to have you on and get your viewpoint. I know you've mentioned that you was never a Seiko fan, which I mean honestly that kind of confused me. X. I mean I can kind of see what you're saying. Is you could be friends with somebody but not really be their fan, maybe something to that effect. I can see that. But that's a tough road to hold, in my opinion. I mean, you gotta get to the point where you guys start chin checking them, put them into the wall to get them right. Give them some tough love. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to put out there is. And I could go in more detail. I don't think it's right really to put conversations out there and messages or whatever about, you know, what we've talked about in private that kind of push me to this side of the spectrum as far as my views on Seiko. But I do accept what people have been saying about them. Dealing with the family issue, putting family business out there, putting, you know, the personal phone calls out there or whatever, and kind of, I don't know, it's tiresome, and it's tiresome, and it's just, it wears you down. It just wears you down. They say, "Hey man, I'm sorry." I don't really call it betrayal. I don't think, just because, in my opinion, it's just me voicing my viewpoint. Right? I'm not trying to sink your ship by any means, and I'm not really trying to do anything hurtful other than speak the truth, and from somebody that's been in the foxhole with you, because I've taken some heat rounds. I've taken some heat rounds, man. I don't really feel like I'm being fake. I feel like if anything, I'm being a true friend. I'm trying to put it out there from those that standing right next to you and say, "Hey, man, you gotta check your shot group," as we say in the military, right? You gotta check your shot group. Hey, Sister Sharon, how you doing? Again, you know, I'm not trying to hurt anybody by any means. I'm just trying to just speak the truth and kind of get it out there. And by all means, you know, I'm open to discussion, right? I'm open to maybe I got it wrong, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but I don't think so. I mean, as you always say, where there's smoke, there's got to be fire, right? There's always got to be fire. So, you know, like we say in Indiana, hey, you got to call a duck, right? You got to call a duck. And after seeing all the video clips, all the shorts and community posts, it's kind of those things of, you know, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm wrong. And that's part of, you know, growing up and maturing. It's like, hey, I can say when I'm wrong, you know. I can definitely speak to that and kind of deal with that. Especially with, you know, growing in Christ. And that's the way it really should be, right? I mean, that's the way it really should be. And this is the kind of discussions we should have, right? Because I really do think at first, I'll say this in front of everybody. At first, I bought into the cam up, shut up. Or cam up or shut up. I really did. Because, you know, I got tired of seeing the comments and runs. You know, they drop a comment and run, or don't want to. You should be bold enough to stand in front of a person and have that discussion. But at this point in time, I kind of see it as being, I don't know. I don't want to say it's played out because it still has relevance, but I want to say it's confrontation. You know, it's not. It's kind of like if you had a disagreement in the street, and both of y'all just throw your hands up. I mean, there's not going to be any kind of conversation there then. But when the hands go up, there's no conversation, right? But if it's one of those things of, hey, brother, come here, let's talk. You can talk it out. Being if you're right or wrong, right? Hey, Sister Christina. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you don't understand. If you can elaborate, I'll try to answer it. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. Hey, bro, you can't you can't compare me to a piston. We've had that discussion in the past. You can't. Maybe Kurt Rambis, Larry Bird's a prime example. He's from Indiana. There you go. We can fix that. We can fix that. Bill Laimbeer that's a cheap shot, bro. That's a cheap shot. But like I said, I'm just trying to clear the air with the other people that have been kind of in the mix, or I mean, I think they've kind of moved on, so to speak. So I'm just trying to clear the air with them, and you know, kind of give two sides of the story here. So I'm kind of looking through the comments now and see what else I can refer to. Because there's a lot to cover, right? There's a lot to cover. And really trying to stay on task. And I don't want to say anything too belligerent, because that's just not who I am. But I do want to speak the truth as clear and possible as I could. It's Seiko, bro. It's not a joke, man. I mean, we've kind of had this conversation, so to speak. Like, I say in passing, not really directly, because to me, like, I'm gonna let you do you, and I'm a firm believer. This is what I'm a firm believer of. If you and God have a conversation, and God's put you on a mission, and God's got a calling for you, I am not going to stand in the way of that. But when you compare what the word says in comparison to what God would have you do, I think there's a discussion there. I think there's a discussion there that kind of needs to be had. Let me see. I'm trying to read this. My eyesight's getting bad, y'all. X says, who is in the mix? Can I just... Hey, I'm new to this live stuff, bro. Let me see. Can I display that? I'm always amazed by what you guys do with this, because I never really looked into going live and what the ins and outs of it are. I think I can do that over here. No, it's oh, okay. Here, no, I got it. Wrong one. Hold on. I'm a rookie. All right. So X says, who's in the mix? What air to clear? What side of the story? So X, like Brother X, what I'm saying is, so in the mix, I mean, it's obvious. Seiko versus the world, right? So the mob, so-called mob, and pretty much every Christian under the sun that doesn't align with what Seiko is saying. So I'm trying to clear the air, because I mean, we've commented on some of the same threads in defense of Seiko. I don't know if you're so much in defense of Seiko as it is that you're trying to give people another perspective. I know I've tried to defend Seiko before in threads. I've kind of grown weary of that, so I've kind of laid that to the side. And then side of the story, I guess, you know, just my perspective, so to speak. Hey, Proverbs, how you doing, bro? Let me see here. I'm getting pretty good at this. Hold on. And I'll say this too. It's not that I'm afraid to have my face on the live, but I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't want, you know, all up in my face. So I did download some pictures of Seiko to put up here to kind of, you know, drive the point home, I guess. Thanks, sis. Yeah, I mean, we could probably work it out. Again, I'm I'm not mad at Seiko, or I'm not like burning him at the stake. I'm just trying to say that I don't agree with his actions, and I don't really with my walk, I can't support what he says or does anymore. I don't think, unless that changes. But I do appreciate your prayers as always, and everything. So keep praying, and who knows what God can do, right? Like I said, Proverbs, good to see you, bro. Thank you for coming. And maybe this is a discussion I should have reached out directly to Seiko to have. I don't know. I think there's some confusion about that. You know, should you go directly to the person if it's public, if it's private? I don't know. Honestly, I'm confused about all that. I get confused about a lot of this stuff that people keep having debates about. You could probably see at least 25 debates about tongues. Once saved, always saved. What else? I don't know. It goes in a circle. It goes in a circle, right? So it gets tiresome after a while. It's like you know what's right because it's right there. It's right there in the Bible, right? You know what's right. It's just what people put out as perception. So let me see, Brother X guy. And you know what? I tend to listen to Brother X because he gives. I think he stays neutral a lot of times on the thing because he'll give you the whole perspective of it all. I think. Let me see what he said. Bro, the mob is still wrong. I mean, how wrong about Seiko or wrong about what period? Let me keep reading. Everyone lied, was false and wrong. Period. No way repented, not April, not Ricky. I mean, what did they have to repent of though, X? I mean, that'd be my question. I mean, were they wrong on how they handled it? Were they wrong on the information? Because they used a lot of clips. I say, in a lot of their materials. They used a lot of them. So would they really be? Are they really lying? Or are they false? Lying, false. I mean, I can kind of hear what you're saying, but I don't know. I feel like they probably they failed at a few things, but not as a whole. I guess you could say that would be my take on that. X is they didn't really fail as a whole. Was there some polishing there to be done? Yeah, probably, but you know. I will say this. I'm going to say this publicly. I still haven't received it. April never repented or asked for forgiveness for lying. And she did. And X called her out on it. I will say that. Never repented for that. Not that I'm holding grudges by any means, but that never happened. Never happened. I mean, like with K-Dub. So with K-Dub, there's some things I don't agree with, like his video of running down the I think they're Jehovah's Witnesses Jehovah's Witnesses, I think it was. He ran those guys down and confronted them and some other things. But here's the other thing, Seiko. I know you're listening. Bro, the amount of time and the amount of videos. I will say this. There's been a lot of lives that I couldn't stay on because they're so long. and the amount of videos. I mean, I never kept count, honestly, about like Corey, about J-Mac, about Marcus, or anybody else. But I know it was a lot. It was a lot of videos, and a lot of time. I know most lives, you'd be lucky if it was an hour, right? And let me watch my mouth, because where we at? We're at 50 minutes. All right, let me watch my mouth on that, because I could be wrong on that. I mean, hold on. So there was a lot of videos, right? One topic, probably 20, 30, 40 videos. Who knows? Probably 2.5 hours, 3 hours on each video. That's a lot. That's a lot, bro. I mean, that's a lot. I'm going to start preaching at Grace Community Church. No. That's across country, bro. I can't make it. Looking for a come up? No, I'm not. No, I'm not looking for a come up. I don't. I got a job full time. I got other things that I'm trying to do. So YouTube is not a source of income for me. It's not. I'm not going to ask for any super chats, or I don't even think I can get super chats. I only got like 5 subscribers. Whatever. Anything like that. But so I mean, yeah, there's that. There's the amount of time, amount of videos. It's almost like, can you get to the point like on 1 or 2 videos? Maybe I would say maybe 1 or 2 videos on each, and probably I can understand the time though, because you want to cover it thoroughly, but the amount of videos is like constantly having to tune in, and like I said, like with the tongues debate and the once saved always saved and a few other regurgitated debates that keep going around, it's like, can we get on to the next topic? There's 66 books in the Bible, and we're stuck on 13 verses. Let's get it together. Well, I mean, it's been all good though, Brother Seiko. It's been all good. It's just one of those things where I have to be honest, and if a house is on fire, I'm gonna tell you, and that's what I'm kind of feeling on this, is that everybody is looking at the house on fire and they're saying the house is on fire, and we're chilling in the basement. So you got to say it. You have to say it to be in the right space. So I might give it a few more minutes. We're at around 54 minutes. Like I said, I didn't want to stay on here too long, because I feel like I get to rambling and not really sticking on point. But I think the conversations out there now is that my views on how Seiko handles situations and handles, I won't say the word, but the example of the word, if that makes sense. No, Proverbs, it's not that I don't want to show my face. Like I said, I don't want it to be about me. You know what I mean? It's the topic of discussion is Seiko and my views now on it. And do I got BCB from my flip? I mean, I do. But like I said, I didn't put too much time into this to get, start sharing scriptures left and right and justifying myself by that. I mean, here, I'll try. I'll pull some up for you. Because it's always good to kind of dive into it, right? So let me grab this real quick, and I'll bring this over here. And this how all Christians should really act, not just Seiko, but like everybody should enact this, right? It shouldn't just be one person that we're pointing fingers at. I mean, myself, I should be the same way, which I'm trying to now is bring that forward. So I'll bring this up here real quick. Hold on just a second. Hey, bro, that's harsh. That's harsh. Come on now. That's messed up. You know what? I don't know too much about that dude. I just kind of ran into that today. I don't know too much about that guy, but he seems awfully different. I should say. Hold on. Oh, yeah, let me. That's up there. I'll pull this up real quick. All right. Did it pop up? Uh-oh. Oh, there you go. Is it up right now? Yeah. All right. So Galatians 5:22, right? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness, right? And then you get down, let's see, 23. And you can kind of see that there are different versions, right? Gentleness and self-control. Against such things, there is no law, right? And you can kind of see that in the text here. And even in Jeremiah, nevertheless, I will bring to it health and healing. I will heal its people and reveal to them the abundance of peace and truth. And so on and so forth. So, I mean, that kind of gives you the kind of grips on that, right? So, still kind of looking at the comments, kind of. And again, I didn't make this for any kind of notoriety, or I mean, it really hurts to do this kind of stuff because I've had good conversations with Seiko. I really have. We've had good conversations. He's shared some stuff with me, especially about scriptures or whatever. But I mean, all the other stuff is just so confounding and confounding and stuff is just really. Yeah, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. How long before you go against Julie Royce? I don't really have anything against Julie. I really don't. I told Seiko this. I've never read her report. I did grab the legal papers on that situation and read those. I did do that. Do I feel like she has a place? Yeah, I mean, probably. But she probably has some things to work out, as I mean, we all do, right? No, I wasn't. Man, I gave you like 20 different versions on there. It's got like all the versions. I don't have logos like you guys do. I pull up the scriptures like here. I don't, and it gives you, look, hold on. Like Titus 1:8, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, sober, just, holy, temperate. That's all I'm saying, man. It's that. And I get it. Sometimes you gotta be direct. Sometimes you gotta, hit the paint hard, but it doesn't always take. Look, what they say. It doesn't always take a jackhammer to drive home a nail. Sometimes you just need a simple hammer, right? I mean, that's kind of what I'm kind of looking at it as. Then you got 1 Timothy 1:9. 1 Timothy 1, verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made of righteous men, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers. So, I mean, there's a lot to it, how we should be. I mean, there's probably 40 different verses that you can reference. But, I mean, we should always be gracious and merciful to others, right? I mean, because that's what Jesus showed us how to be. That's how we should probably follow his example. We could either be, Paul the apostle or Paul beforehand out here slaughtering Christians, and that's not who we should be, right? See, Seiko, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, what? You didn't have to say that. What? You didn't have to say this. I don't know what that means, bro. That's a little harsh, I think. I think that's a little harsh. Because I'm just trying. I haven't been belligerent, and I haven't been. I don't know. I don't have the word for it. I just haven't. I don't deserve that. I don't think I deserve that, because I've been gracious in this. I really have. But that's kind of where. Again, that's kind of where I'm at. You watch enough stuff, and you have to take note. You have to take note, right? You have to take note of it all, and develop your opinion from there. And that's where I'm kind of at with it. So I'm gonna kind of bring this to a close. I think maybe. Let me see. Hold on. What do you say here? So I guess you're Rick. You know what? I don't. No, I say no, because I think I gained a brother in Daryl. I haven't talked to him for a while now, but I'm sure he's still out there. But I think he's a good dude, and there's some good people that I've met through being associated with you. But there's some people too that are kind of, I think, questionable maybe. But coming up with you and Daryl, no, I can't say I regret it. I can't say that, because some good came out of it, right? Some good came out of it. So I can't say that I regret it. I think there's some stuff I do regret. Some cams that I do regret. I'm trying to think which one we've been on. I think the RL Dabney was good. I think that was a good one. That's still, I think that's still valid. I think that really is still valid because that's wrong as all outdoors, I think. Trying to think of some other ones that I've kind of been on with you. I can't think of them right now, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, so that one. So what was that? I forget that guy's name. I know his channel, The Love Agenda. I can't remember what his name is offhand. But like when he came on, and I personally, I had to, I felt drawn to try to moderate that a little bit because it was almost a bickering fighting match rather than what it was titled to be, I think. So I did try to get in the middle of that to kind of bring a level head to it because I think you guys are just going back and forth and there were really no progress in that. This is the way I look at it, Seiko. I don't think it's a waste of time. I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's a life experience, right? So we just don't see eye to eye on things anymore. And it's unfortunate. I would hope that here's where I think it kind of opened my eyes. Because I spent some time down in Texas at a great little church down in Texas. The pastor down there was great. Everybody was really welcoming and loving and everything. And I think that's when you get that, then that's what, like, this is how it's supposed to be, right? So then you kind of measure everything past that by that stick. So yeah, I mean, I have been to a barbershop, man. I have been. And you're right. There's a certain kind of type of conversation that happens in there. 9 times out of 10, it's not biblical at all. It's not. So I think, in my opinion, and this is kind of getting into the word, in my opinion, when you have conversations about the word, it should be different. It should be different because you're supposed to be different. You personally are supposed to be different because of the word. So unless you're going to walk in there with the word and change people, I don't think barbershop is equitable in that. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't think. But I get what you're saying. I mean, we can still have real conversations about the word and our perspective on it and all. But you know. Let me see here. Then you could call Seiko. You call him crying for. I don't call Seiko crying for anything, man. I ask for his opinion on stuff and his insight on things, but could I call him? I could have, but I felt like, let me take this public because his content's public, their content's public, everybody's content's public. So what's the sense of having private conversations when we can just hash it out? We can hash it out. So now the world can see how we could do it, I guess. I mean, you guys are kind of being a little aggressive, but I mean, if we're having it out and everybody sees it out here, then maybe it's an example for everybody else, I guess. I guess you could say it that way. I could have called him. But like I said, I mean, we've passed messages before and conversations in the past. But I just don't feel like it's ever welcomed or adhered to. I don't want to say adhered to. That's not what I'm trying to say there, but taken in consideration, I guess that's it. Let me see. It's a real honest combo. Language, as I proved, is different in cultures, and it was allowed based on the level of the hearers. Yeah, I guess you could say that, X. But so here would be my thing though. If you want to discuss that, is did Jesus change up his speech to the cultures? Because I mean, he floated in between a couple of different cultures there, right? So did he change up his language? I mean, I think the only thing we could say there is like when he's flipping tables in the temple, that kind of changed in that aspect. Like, I mean, I don't really see a change between him talking to the Pharisees other than him using like metaphors and whatnot as he would to anybody else, right? I mean, that's where I kind of see it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe Paul did. I don't know. You can help me out with that. Seiko, man, there's a channel with like, I forget how many videos the guy's got on you. Like we'll say over 50. I know it's probably more than that, but there's legs to stand on here because again, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So there's tons of videos out here saying pretty much the same thing I'm saying, I guess, but like I said, they put more time into it rather than just jumping on live and talking about it. But yeah. I guess, I mean, really, we should probably cam up rather than me talking to comments because I'm pretty sure other people are like, what's he talking about? Let me see. You stand correct that Christ used no stronger language than what he said false followers were. Yeah. I see what you're saying, X. Yep. I see what you're saying. But maybe that's like with the Greek and Latin thing, maybe. Trying to invoke emotion and how things are said rather than the plain text. Because I mean, it's just like a text message or email or a written letter. You're not really getting the emotion in it. So, you kind of left with, yeah, I feel like this is how it was said, or this is the heightened emotion that how it was expressed. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, X. I got it. I'm tracking. But I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that, there's people. So do you think Seiko should address? I mean, there's people that say, they've been hurt by Seiko, or, they're, I don't know if they want to say they stumbled. I don't know if anybody said that. I can't remember. But But should he address that if he's hurt somebody? I mean, do you feel like he should? That hurts. That hurts. Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. When he did the snack thing on the stage, everybody complained about it, but I bet you about 75% of the people wanted some of those snacks. Not just in his church, but the people that seen it. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just reading the comments now. Kind of. And, you know, I hope this is my sincere desire because I feel like you guys are still good people. So, I mean, maybe we can have a conversation in the future or whenever that we want to. I don't hold any malice in my heart towards you guys. I just feel like this is what needs to be said, especially with somebody that's, I guess, quote unquote, this close to Seiko that needs to say it as well. And maybe it'll drive the point home a little bit more. And again, all I do ask Seiko is you pray on this and kind of hear what I'm saying, not close it off and seal it in that sense. So we've been at this for a little bit over an hour. So I'm gonna kind of bring it to a close again. I welcome you guys to this channel. Hopefully in the near future, I can start getting on what the purpose of the channel is. If you did like this conversation, because I'm open to having conversations as well. So if you did like it, please like, subscribe, share with everybody. Hit that notification bell. Hopefully we'll have content coming out soon. I appreciate those of you that stopped by and watched and interacted. Really do appreciate it. And again, it's just from my Foxo, this is what I had to do, is say that I don't approve of what Seiko's been doing or saying, and putting people in positions to have to do videos like this, right? So that is my heart, and that is what's on my mind tonight. Again, I appreciate you guys coming by. I pray for each and every one of you, and hope the best. Hope you guys have a great day, great week. I don't have a fancy outro like Seiko with the POP and stuff like that. I really don't. I apologize. I'm not that advanced yet, but who knows? I'll get there. But I'll leave with that. Stay in the Word, stay in God's will. Grace and peace to all of y'all. And we'll be in touch. God bless.